9/11/2006 was a quiet, overcast day. No 21 gun salutes, no half-masted flags, no moments of silence over the intercom. I don't know if we should have had any. What do you remember about September 11th?
I remember it was a Wednesday, because every Wednesday at my old school we had pizza, and I remember we had pizza then. But when it happened, there were all these rumors going around that there were a bunch of planes going around Washington hitting like the mall and stuff. But our teachers didn't let us watch it, but we had this one really cool math teacher who let us watch it. And also I went to like a private Jewish school, so they were all paranoid. So at around 11, they had all our parents come pick us up and we all had to leave.
What's your name?
Gareth Chapman,
And where are you from?
New Zealand.
In New Zealand, what impact did 9/11 have?
Well, I remember I had just come home from school, and I was doing my homework in front of the TV, and everything got interrupted by the news, and it was the planes had crashed into the towers, and everyone was shocked. It's not just America; it's a worldwide thing. The World Trade Centers are international landmarks. Everyone knows what they are and where they are, and it just shocked everyone.
With my school, I went to private school and they didn't tell us. Randomly kids would just be called out, their parents would come get them, I remember the principal, I remember the exact one, the principal walks in and whispers to the teacher, walks out, and everyone's just like, okay, someone got in trouble. And then, all of a sudden, all these kids just keep going home, and you're like, what, lots of doctor appointments today, we didn't know what was going on. And then, I got home, my mom was like, oh, there's something about hijacking, and it was 2 o'clock, and I go home, and then all of a sudden you just see all these reruns of the entire day, and you're like, I missed all of that. And then you think, how bad could it be that people have to jump out of windows just because they can't take it inside? It was crazy.
I was in Parkway at the time, Parkway Middle for Performing Arts, and we were just going to, my class members there, we were just going to our acting class, and Max was in it too, and when we walk in, all the kids are like, there's aliens attacking, there's aliens, and we're all like, ah, aliens, so people are jumping around aliens, and we're gonna die, and they're gonna beam us up, and whatever. And then after a while we were like, wait a minute, what is this? It's not a game. And then you see certain people sitting around the classroom. Oh my gosh, my uncle was there. Oh my gosh, my mom just went to New York this morning. Oh my gosh, and then we're okay, so you have people crying and other people just I don't get it, what is going on? Then we see the next plane crash, we're like, wow. Half of us didn't even know still until the next day what really happened.
Oh, well, I remember I was in the 7th grade. Yeah, I was in 7th grade. Mr. Carlton class. It wasn't that. It was I thought it was a joke, practical joke for me. So when I saw our teacher done turned on the TV, I saw airplane going boom. I said to myself, wow, okay. So I was in the classroom, so we just didn't do nothing till then.
I was not in the country. I was living in Tijuana, Mexico. And it was 6:30 in the morning when I told my father to take me to school, and he was watching it on the news, and I really didn't know what was going on, but I knew it wasn't good. And as he drove me to school, we listened to it on the radio. And when I got to school, everybody had heard about it, but we weren't exactly sure what it meant at that point. And later on, our teachers actually assigned us work to do research on it, and they were supportive. It's a Catholic school, so we actually had a moment of silence the following day.
And what I remember most now is the jokes we made about it, and lots of jokes.
So there wasn't any sort of crying?
No one, we didn't know it was real at first, and then when we were told it was real, what was happening, we were in 7th grade. We were 12, 13 years old, so we had no clue how serious it was.
And what do you do here at Hills?
I teach.
What do you teach?
Acting 2, 3, 4, 5, creative writing 2, 3, 4, 5, advanced placement English 3, gifted English 2, regular English 2.
How long have you been here at Hills?
Since 1976.
What do you remember most about 9/11?
My students crying.
What kind of students were crying?
Everybody.
Were any making jokes?
No. I had planning. They it happened, my husband called me. I stepped out in the hall, I saw Mr. Hilliard, and I said, it's Osama bin Laden. And Mr. Hilliard said, what happened? I said, the towers went down in New York. And he said, what do you mean? I said, they went down, planes or bombs. And my students started, I don't know how they found out. I don't know what happened, but they filled the room.
Throughout the making of this documentary, not one person refused to be on camera, and I was even given time to leave class to conduct the interviews. What are you doing today to remember the 5-year anniversary?
Well, I'm wearing red, white, and blue. A little white, but mostly red and blue.
What are you doing to commemorate the anniversary?
I'm wearing blue.
I pray for the families that took the suffering, that lost many family members they have lost. I pray for the firefighters, and I hope to find some way where the student body could get involved, having some type of memorial for 9/11.
What are you doing to commemorate the attacks?
Just remembering the people that were lost, the people that sacrificed their lives to save others.
Do you think 9/11 should be made a national holiday?
Yeah, a day of remembrance at least.
Do you think we should get off school for it?
No. We should be in school to learn more about it and help learn how to prevent it.
Do you think 9/11 should be made a national holiday?
I think there should be, yeah, sure. Not a holiday, something to celebrate, obviously, but, a day to remember, a day to mourn.
Do you think 9/11 should be made into a national holiday?
Oh, for me, personally, see, this is my last year, so I think not. Y'all students need to get your education. Y'all students need to know, no, you got too much holidays. Y'all students, go ahead and get your education. Free rights, education, education.
Do you think 9/11 should be made into a national holiday?
I think so.
I think we should have something that commemorates the people who died.
Do you think 9/11 should be made into a national holiday?
I do think so. It's in the top 5 for what most Americans that have died in one day. It's only right that, they get some kind of tribute.
Do you think that Pearl Harbor should be made into a national holiday?
Believe that should be too.
Do you know what November 11th commemorates?
2 months after September 11th? I don't know.
Of the 28 students interviewed, 75% of them agreed that September 11th should be made into at least a day of remembrance. However, only 1/4 of them knew that December 7th, 1941 was Pearl Harbor Day, and not one person knew that November 11th honored the anniversary of the end of World War I. What do you think about the films that have been released about 9/11?
I have not seen any of them, but as a first-hand account from one of my friends, she said she laughed in them, so they can't be that good if they made someone laugh.
Have you seen any of the recent films released about 9/11?
No, I didn't want to.
Why not?
Because I don't want to see something that I don't think it really captures it, or something that's going to try to be preachy to me, or show that, the American people are so great. I think we are a great people, but we also have a lot of things to work on, and I don't like seeing things that are going to be too preachy, or I'm supposed to feel empathy or something for it, and I do, but I don't like being told that.
Have you seen any of the films that have been released recently about 9/11?
No. I'd like to though.
Do you think it's too soon to release those films?
No. It's been 5 years.
What do you think about the films that have been released about 9/11? Do you think it's too soon?
I haven't seen them. I guess it was too soon for me. I don't know if it was too soon for anybody else. I had a lot of problems with what happened. I understand. I understand why the news services did what they did, or I mean, but probably wasn't even their decisions. But I know we were in school and we were about 3.5 hours after the event, and the Pentagon had exploded, and we got a note from the superintendent, don't let the students watch the news. I thought, what? Don't let them watch the news? This is a day that they'll never forget. I can't imagine wanting to do anything but watch the news. I thought about that for a while. I thought, well, maybe a student would be sitting in a classroom though and watching a grandfather, grandmother, sister, brother fall out of a window, jump. I don't know. There were people linking hands and jumping. And then I didn't know how to think about it. So I don't know. I haven't seen the movies. I guess I'd have to see them and decide if they're any good. I think